But
Yes.
when you see
Okay.
the writing on top,
Uh.
all right.
Okay.
Okay, hello, Khôi. We are
Yes.
here for the mock speaking IELTS test for academic one class from Time City.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher. Or
All
examiner,
right, so
in this case.
all right. Where do you live?
I live in Hanoi, for more specifically in Trương Định Street, Hai Bà Trưng district, and
All right,
I live in a house, small house,
all
very much
right.
small house in some, kind of small way, like a
So,
split
what kind of
from
buildings are there in your city? What kind of buildings are there in your city?
the, the private building, like for example, just small building for housing or just like a small business, like a grocery store or just a, you know, diner, thing like that. And there's big building, including apartment building, which is big for could so that they could house more people. Hospital, school, entertainment, which have movie theater. Is there any arcade in our city? I think there is. There is
All
an
right.
arcade, more most, and
Are there any monuments?
aquarium monument. Yes, the monument of there's Lenin, the monument Lenin in Lenin Park. Is this called Lenin Park? We usually call it Lenin Park, but I don't remember the specific name of it. But there's a monument, like a statue of Lenin in the middle of a park. So I guess that's a monument, and they also monument of I forgot the names.
Are there historic buildings, for example?
Historic building. There is a historic building. The opera house, the big opera house in near Hoàng Kim Lake. Um, Opera house. Ho Chi Minh. How do I say it? Not Ho Chi Minh. That place where they kind of keep his body.
Do you like to visit historic buildings like the mausoleum
Oh
you just
yes.
mentioned?
Oh yes, yes. I mean, like, for example, for firstly, I could go outside, experience some fresh air, and secondly, I could learn a lot about the history of the building or just the history around the building. Like for example, Ho Chi Minh Paragon. I don't know if it's called Paragon or not. Uh, I could learn about Ho Chi Minh, and from Ho Chi Minh, I could learn more about our fight against the American to claim back our freedom and independence. And we
Mhm.
learn more history and then more history fact, which is very interesting for me.
So if you had to choose three landmarks of your country, think about the whole country of Vietnam, three landmarks of your whole country. The three places, the three monuments, the three historic buildings, the three most important landmarks you would suggest a tourist, a foreigner to visit.
This is a hard one because I mostly just visit. I don't remember the name. I do understand some of the history, but like, I just don't remember much of the name. So this is gonna be very hard.
But they don't have to be historical buildings. You can mention any landmark.
Okay, okay. Any landmark. Huh. So first of all, I would recommend the first high school in Hanoi, which is I don't remember the name that much. Like I said, I don't remember that much of the name, but I do remember that it is the first high school in Hanoi or university. It's, yeah, university in Hanoi. the very first. The secondly would be one of the museum about the Vietnam War. They contain a lot of, you know, tank, plane, like a lot of tank, T-34, T-55, things like that, plane, MiG-15, MiG-17. Behind the vehicle, you could learn a lot about the history of the Vietnam War, which is very interesting. Like the booby trap, like the soldier, like the tunnel, the tunnel. I kind of
Right.
like the tunnel. And the strategy that they used to defeat the more powerful America.
All right. All right. Very good.
And the
Oh,
third,
excellent.
I haven't said the third one.
All right.
Okay. And the third one would be not exactly a historical place, but like you should go to and try Chantian ice cream because it's very good. There's not much history behind it. I'm just saying it. You should try it. It's like near. It's in Changting Street. I remember near Hoàng Kim Lake. You could find a place that sell a lot of mostly like mostly sell a lot of ice cream. We got Trang Thuyền ice cream, kem Trang Tiên, and it's very good. If you're gonna go visit to Hanoi, you should like try Trang Tiên ice cream because it's a very good, kind of cheap. I mean, not that cheap, but still kind of cheap, and the quality is very good, and the taste is also very good.
Excellent. All right. This is excellent news. All right. So we are switching to part two.
Part two.
I am about to post. I am about to post your question, okay, in the chat box. From the very moment you see the topic in your chat box with all the questions, you have 1 minute to prepare. You can make your notes during that minute. And after that minute, oh no, that's not.
I mean,
So,
I'm not click the link anyway.
no. Okay, it's give me a second.
What's that? They gonna see it copyright 19. Okay, I'm not gonna read.
Okay, so the questions are here. Ah,
Is something broken?
give me a second because it's not posting. So
Okay.
give me just a second. Right. Okay, the third one. So you have describe a style of architecture that you like, a building that you like, an historical building that you like, a modern building that you like, anything that you like. Tell me what style it is, what it looks like, where can you see it, and explain why you like it so much. It's about buildings and architecture. You have 1 minute to prepare.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I
You want to
got.
start?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start, right? Yes.
If you want, you can start. Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna start now. So my favorite type is many type of architecture that I like from the simple time, from the ancient time. You have to think of like multiple way to deal with just like deal with building complicated thing with just simple tool and simple material to modern day where they design everything so flashy, kind of nice. But my my most like or my favorite type of architecture is more of a simple type, simple modern. I don't really know the name for it, but this is the type that my father usually design. He's an architect, and he designed houses for people that like hire him to design houses. And the style of his design is more of a simple type, just try to keep simple while doing it at like make it as convenient and cost effective as possible. For me, this design could be found usually at the house that my father designed because he designed it. Like I said, and the reason why I like this because the house is look to me. The house look more cleaner and more appealing to me because like it's so simple. Yes, they have something so sudden about it. Have like small detail that the modern house could only achieve, like for example, just a small detail, different color, nice color with flooring, the wooden flooring that the modern day could only achieve. But it also achieved a more simple design from like the past because like there isn't much that they can do in the past. They should design more simple, but also seem more cozy in the house. And one more thing I like about a simple design house because is that you could have a lot of customization about on it because like when already fully designed deck out flashy light everywhere wall with multiple you know uh, brick type, how do I say it's like color, multiple color. You do not have as much customization as a simple house because like you cannot put anywhere. Like you want to put a shelf in a wall, it kind of ruin it because like there's multiple color there. But for a simpler house, you could put a shelf anywhere you want, and it will still look nice and cozy. So a simple house gives you more of a cozy feeling, more eye appealing for me, and it also allow you to customize your house any way you want. And for me, that is the best thing you could ask from a house and from a style design
All
architecture.
right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So we've been talking about architectures, interesting architectures, and historical buildings, and before.
Yes.
What kind of people do you think like to visit historic buildings?
I mean, people who study historical, they could like do some research, study more. Like I I actually the people who like trying to find old thing in the ground. I cannot say the name because I don't remember that much. I forgot a lot. But they could like find some form of a relic from the past, and they could study it, they could research it, and they could pass that information to more people like to do historical thing, and they could keep passing that what his story is, right? Keep passing
Only
on from
archaeologists.
yeah, archaeologists. Yes.
Only archaeologists like
No, no,
to.
no, no. That my example. That my
Mm,
example. There's more people like just students from like who study history or just people who like history in general could
mhm.
all or go visit this place. Also, there is tourists like who could like understand more about the culture of the country that they are visiting, or even just people that live in the country, just to like have more have more knowledge about their ancestor, you know.
Yeah.
So overall, all people could enjoy go to historical places and monument, but mostly people who had an interest in history.
All right.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Very good. Very good. All right. All right.
Okay.
Do you think it's worth the money to preserve old buildings?
For me, yes, because like I said before, history is knowledge passed from one generation to another. So if we could like keep the historical building, we could like preserve that knowledge and his the history of that building and pass it on to another generation. And we could keep passing on and keep our how do I say it? Keep 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 our history like preserved. Yeah, preserve. Keep our history preserved. And also, usually maintain the building is not that hard. I mean, and most of the part people usually like change some part of the building, like from wood to reinforce with some more steel, so that it could be more sturdy. But to preserve, they isn't cost that much. So I think it's worth the while to preserve the building.
All right.
Okay.
All right. How have you seen buildings changing in the past few years?
Like us.
You can talk about Hanoi, I guess, but in the
Okay.
last say 5 years, 10 years, how you've seen the buildings changing?
So just in 5, 10 years, this is a sad facts, but I have seen building getting worse
Hmm.
in quality in general. Quantity they are increasing because like the demand of building for increasing population. We have gone nearly 8 million, right? We are around 7.9 billion people on planet Earth, and it will keep rising. So the demand for building will keep rising up. So people, so we build it, more building in general. But for that to happen, we have to cut down some costs, and that result in quality decreasing. We could see this in China in general. It's called. It had a specific name for that evolution of building, but China tried to build as much as possible to deal with firstly to deal with the population increase, and secondly to impress the outside country. You know, like they try to impress America. They to think that there is a powerful and wealthy country, but the building is getting extremely worse in quality. Like there's a building that I remember like built for like a year or two, and then they just collapse. It just collapsed. The steel that they use in the building is extremely fragile. You could use just your hand, hit the ground, and the steel would will break in two. And they're cutting down on cost and other thing too, like concrete. Instead of using concrete, they use glass bottle to fill in some of the gap, and sand, dirt. So overall, the building quality have been getting worse in general, but the aesthetic is getting better for for some building. But they still, in general, the aesthetic is still the same. The cost do went down a little bit, but just because the quality getting extremely worse.
Hmm. Hmm. And why do you think is this happening?
like I said before, increase of population and demanding for living spaces, because there is more
Why
people.
is the quality? Why is the quality? Why is the quality getting worse? They are
Uh,
building more houses in terms of quantity because there are more people, and you made this
yes,
clear. But why is the
yes.
quality getting worse?
Oh, the quality getting worse because, like, they try to cut down costs. I always say this. For the example of China, they try to cut down costs as much as possible so they could build more, and they could fulfill the people need more. So they try to cut down the costs as much as possible. But they sometimes they went out their way to cut down so much costs that they increased the quality building so much that basically unlivable in that in the place that they build.
All right. And thank you very much.
Okay.